Bonfire for hosting this event. I love the fact that I get to come here every so often to be able to meet all of my friends again, to catch up. Very importantly, to recognize all the hard work in creating innovation in the municipal space, and also recognizing all of the great transactions that occurred this year. Congratulations to all the other award winners, and also to recognizing the University of Chicago's transaction. As many of you know, I'm not shy about providing my point of view, and every member of this working group knows that. I am going to take my 2 minutes of fame, although I might offer I've never actually spoken for 2 minutes, to be able to turn the tables tonight and provide a pitch to you about how it is that we might move ourselves forward to the municipal industry. I've had perhaps the dubious honor of working on a multitude of different transactions in a host of different markets for a host of different issuers. I have had an interesting set of experiences that have shaped my career in municipal finance. And through all of that, I would offer that many of these transactions that I've worked on that have been marquee, I may forget some of the details on many years from now, some of which may also stand the test of time a little bit differently than others. But that really importantly, the one enduring legacy that occurs in each and every one of these transactions is the work and the collaboration that I've had with the municipal professionals in this room and across the industry to create the spark of innovation of municipal finance and the impact that we create for institutions and public benefit of those institutions. I will never forget when I was an investment banker, a phone call that I received from a utility client of mine, where I've had this moment many times in my career as an issuer. This issuer had a spark of a vision. It was a spark of a vision where they would take their balance sheet and their operational excellence and use that to ultimately create what was one of the largest municipal utility acquisitions in the country. A few years ago, I will never forget the moment when an underwriter came to me with the new sustainability frameworks for ESG financings. And all of a sudden, I had an aha moment where if we were to take that, marry that with the City of Chicago's investor relationships, marry that with the hyper-local retail marketing, that we would create a financing that not only created one of the largest yield differentials in ESG financings that had been issued to date, but also really importantly, was one of the most popular financings for what's fairly an esoteric part of the municipal finance industry, most popular financings to the layperson in Chicago. For this transaction that's being honored tonight, the university pushed the envelope on a number of different municipal products. Our lead banker, Chris, today joked the fact that this transaction was like the bingo card for bankers, where we had almost every type of municipal product in it. We had swap terminations, we had new swaps, we had line of credit terminations, we had new lines of credit, we had bullets, fixed rate bonds, variable rate bonds, self-liquidity backed variable rate bonds, a tender offer, corporate tender offer, municipal tender offer. There were a whole host of various types of municipal products in this transaction, and all of which were in service of creating and recapitalizing about a quarter of the University of Chicago's debt portfolio in order to create $90 million of interest savings, $30 million of tender offer savings, and ultimately further the research of the University of Chicago. And all of that is as a result of this working group here. I get the privilege of being up here to be able to speak about this transaction, but the ability for us to interrogate assumptions that we make in a transaction, different market conditions provide different opportunities to us, and it's really important to interrogate and to challenge those baseline assumptions. We changed the structure 10 different ways this sundown. At one point it was 2, I see some of the bankers nodding who were up in the middle of the night rerunning those cash flows. At one point this transaction was $200 million. At one point it was $1 billion. And we moved through the markets in a way that ultimately created a lot of benefit for the University of Chicago. At the risk of making this into an Oscar speech, I'm going to recognize a few people. They're all standing here today, but I would be remiss not to first and foremost recognize the team at the University of Chicago. Karen Liu, Jack Rothman, Ethan Retcher, Russ Karen, and very importantly, Ivan Samstein, who gave me the opportunity to work and serve in the University of Chicago. I can't thank him enough for making this transaction a reality. Our lead underwriters, I'm not going to be able to name everyone, but RBC in particular, as our lead left underwriter, has led us through this very difficult challenge into recapitalization. A number of our lawyers, including Chapman, Catton, Dentons, Burns, and Orrick, and of course the IFA, who is our doorway to the municipal market, were incredible collaborators through this effort. Also our advisors who helped us in managing some of the very difficult challenges. UBA, Evercrest, and PFM, thank you for all of your support in this transaction. Put simply, the municipal industry at the end of the day is ultimately about the people and the innovation and creative spark that we create in moving forward advances and financing that helps to support the public benefit of this institution. As bankers and advisors, I encourage you to take extra effort to pitch something different that might be outside of your comfort zone and address a specific issuer's needs. As much as you may be competitors in this room, collaboration builds relationships, and I encourage you to do that with your colleagues. The industry suffers when we don't share best practices, expand professional expertise through mentorship opportunities, and continue to invest in people, technologies, and institutions to support liquidity and transparency in municipal bonds. As issuers, we have a responsibility to support an industry that is seeing a large wave of retirements and loss of critical technical knowledge. We also have a responsibility to ensure that bankers and advisors have the incentives to provide banking coverage that will push the envelope forward. It's a virtuous cycle which will serve issuers in the long run through better market execution. Again, I want to thank the bond buyer. This is an incredibly important event. All of us in this room have worked really hard in order to promote innovative transactions that promote public benefit across the country. And I'm so extremely proud to be a part of this event. Thank you for this honor.